Production begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, welcome to Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Doug Wilson, President and CEO of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore, and with me today is Suzanne Marie from the Blood Bank of Delmarva, and Suzanne is the Marketing Account Executive and Blood Drive Coordinator.
Yes.
How long have you been at the Blood Bank?
Going on 14 years in February.
14 years in February.
Yes.
Terrific. Well, Blood Bank does a lot of great stuff. So I guess our first question is, why do people need blood?
Most people automatically just think of accident victims, you know, people in car crashes or work-related accidents where there's a tremendous loss of blood, but actually people from premature babies to great-grandfathers need blood. A lot of times babies are born too young, their bodies aren't producing blood, so they need tiny transfusions to keep them going till their bodies grow.
Right.
Mothers with complications to childbirth, people with complications to surgery in general need blood. Cancer patients, those undergoing chemotherapy, some of them will wipe out their blood counts and leave them so weak that if they didn't get blood transfusions, they couldn't stay strong enough to fight the cancer. So it's everybody. Here on the shore, it's over 20,000 people a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we obviously need people to donate blood, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about how they can do that a little later. But aside from whole blood products, do you do other things like platelets or something like that?
Yeah. Oh, yes, we do. We have quite a few products that we do. We do pheresis products, one of them being
Pheresis
platelets.
products.
I know.
Okay.
I throw that term around, but I'm really not that technical of a person.
That's all right.
Yeah, we do platelet pheresis. Platelets are the clotting factor in your blood.
Right.
And a lot of times people will develop disorders where they're not producing enough, so they need transfusions of platelets, because you can accidentally bump yourself and create a bruise that if you don't have enough platelets in your system, you could internally bleed to death.
Oh, that's not a comforting thought.
No, it's not. Or some people with ulcers, if they have a really bad ulcer and they end up with a platelet disorder, they could bleed internally.
Wow.
And cancer, once again, we do a lot of platelets for cancer patients, especially people with leukemia undergoing chemotherapies.
Okay. So aside from hospitals, which I'm assured would receive blood from you, where else would you deliver blood? Or
there are some renal centers across the shore that we deliver blood to. But basically, the hospitals and the renal centers are the only ones.
Right. How many people do you need every day to donate blood in order to keep up with the demand?
Here
Or
on the
are we
shore-
keeping up with the demand?
Yes, it's always a struggle. It's never an easy job for us, but we
Right.
do keep up. Every day across Delmarva, we need 350 people to donate. So that's
Every
a lot.
day?
Every day. Well, 6 days a week. We take
Wow.
off Sundays, so we put everybody into those 6 days. But
Okay.
yeah, 350 people. And we get those 350 people. Sometimes it's easier than other times. During the spring and the fall, blood donations are a little easier to come by. Winter and summer, winter people are sick. They can't donate, and it's a
Right.
pretty high percentage. Summertime,
Right.
people are out on vacations having too much fun and don't think about it. So those 2 times a year we always struggle with.
Right. What is the most, I don't know whether I would call it important or not, but what is the most typed blood that's needed?
Well,
Besides everybody's blood,
yeah, normally people
special
go,
needs.
what's the rarest type of blood?
what's the rarest type of
the
blood?
blood that's not available when you need it?
If you have rare blood.
Well, no, any blood. You could be
Oh.
A positive, but if it's
Okay.
not on the shelf,
Right.
you know, that's a that's a badly needed blood. Excuse me.
That's all right. We allow that.
Yes.
You get choked up when we talk
I
about
know,
blood, don't
it's
we?
very emotional for me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just people always ask me what's the rarest type, and we say it's the blood that's not there when you need it.
That's right.
So, but the blood that we prize the most is O negative.
Oh, and because
It's the universal donor.
the universal donor.
Yes. It's what they do in trauma situations. Somebody comes in, they're bleeding badly, they need blood right away. The hospital's not going to ask you what your blood type is.
Right.
They're going to take blood, factor it themselves, determine what you are, but that takes time. So if you need blood right away, they just pull O negative off the shelf because anyone can take it. And they give you O negative till they know what your blood type is.
Yeah.
And because of those types of procedures, you can go through a lot of blood.
Wow.
You know, in a short
Oh,
amount
I'm
of
sure you
time.
could.
And plus, for the O negative person, they can only receive O negative back.
Ah,
So,
so they're not a universal receiver,
no,
recipient.
Recipient.
Yeah.
Which almost makes it so it's always important that we have enough O negative on the shelves for the O negative people and for the trauma people. We have a subgroup of our donors that like to be called more often than once a year. And we call them when we see our inventories running down in certain blood types, and they're on hand for us to come in and fill that need right away when we need it.
How long does blood last?
The whole blood is about 40 days, and platelets last, I think it's 7 to 10 days.
Ooh.
So it's very limited.
It is.
Yeah.
How do you know if you can give blood? Do you have to have anything, or if you have some things that are wrong with you, can you not give blood?
Well, there are some reasons you can't donate.
Okay.
I think it's estimated about 2/3 of the population cannot donate for one reason or another, but that includes children under 17.
Yeah.
So, but the rest of the third, but there are certain health issues that can keep you from donating. If you've had cancer, you have to be cancer-free for 5 years before you can donate again.
Yes.
If you're on antibiotics, you know, for inflammation, you're not allowed to donate. But there's a lot of people that think they can't donate because they're on high blood pressure medicine, but that's not true. If you're on medications, a lot of times you are able to. Diabetics are now able to donate, even if you're on insulin.
Really? Okay.
So yeah, so you don't know until you call in and ask us.
I've heard that you don't, or that you used to, I don't know whether it's true or not anymore, but if you didn't weigh enough.
Oh yes, yeah, you have
You
to weigh
could-
110 pounds or more.
Well, I'd qualify.
Oh, see, and it would be such a smaller percentage of your blood volume
What?
overall.
Yeah,
I
okay.
didn't mean that.
No, I know you didn't. That's cute.
Yeah, the FDA's determined that 1 pint, or whatever that breaks down into
Milliliters or something.
milliliters, is a safe amount to take out of anyone who weighs 110 pounds or more. It's not going to decrease your blood volume that it
Right.
becomes harmful to you.
And then your body replaces it.
Yes.
How
yeah.
long does that take?
Well, your plasma and your platelets will be replenished within a 2-day period, basically.
Really? 2 days?
Yeah, your total blood volume will be replaced immediately.
Uh-huh.
Your red cells take a little longer to build back up,
Right.
but we want you to have a red cell count, not a red cell count, a iron count of
Right.
12.5 or higher, which means you've got a little extra to spare, so it's not going to leave you feeling weak or tired.
Yeah. Tell me what's involved with giving blood.
You've
What's
not
the process?
You've
for
not
some-
given blood?
I have given blood.
Okay, so, all right.
Yes.
I just want to make sure. The whole process takes an hour, but the part with the needle in your arm is 5 to 10 minutes.
That's it. And
That's
you
it.
squeeze the little thing.
Squeeze the ball, and we
Yeah.
don't like you to fill the bag up in less than 3 minutes. That's not always healthy. A lot of guys start squeezing the ball
Oh,
because
really
they
hard,
think it's
yeah.
macho to fill the bag up fast. It's not a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, of that hour, you're going to spend about 20 minutes answering about 50 bizarre and crazy questions concerning your medical history, your social history, and your travel history.
Okay.
And then we'll do a little mini physical on you where we will check your pulse, your blood pressure, your temperature, and check your iron count. Make sure they're all within a healthy range.
Right.
You pass all of that, then you get to go and donate blood. And at the Salisbury Center, we have a very comfortable setup. We have these nice contoured couches. You lay back, put your arm out, watch a little TV, and before you know it, you're done.
And when you're done, what do you get?
Lots of good cookies.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good cookies.
Good cookies. It's like a reward. Some people go, the only time I eat cookies is when I donate blood. I do it for the cookies.
There you go.
So.
I just want to remind our viewers that you're watching Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Doug Wilson, the President and CEO of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. And with me today is Suzanne Marie, who is the Marketing Account Executive and Blood Drive Coordinator for the Blood Bank of Delmarva. So thanks again for being with us, and let's continue on.
Okay.
Tell us where you are.
Right in Salisbury, we are on Mount Herman Road near the corner of Bagelin Park Drive,
Okay.
next to the Long and Foster Real Estate Building. We've been there since '91.
It's a nice building.
It is very nice.
Yes,
And,
I pass it every day I go to work. Yeah, that's great.
So,
Good. What do people have to do? Do they have to do anything to prepare to give blood? I mean, should they not eat something or
well, a lot of times people confuse
go on a
us.
drinking binge, or they shouldn't be doing any of that?
Well, within reason, moderation.
Okay.
We're not like when you go to the lab for blood work. We're the complete opposite. Sometimes people confuse us. We want you to eat a good meal at least 3 hours or less prior to donating. We want you to be well nourished and
Right.
well hydrated.
Okay.
Those two things are very important. Well rested, don't come after working out at the gym, and don't plan on doing anything physically strenuous after you donate for the rest of the day as well.
Right.
So those two things, being nourished and well hydrated, are the most important things you can do.
Can you feel dizzy afterwards or anything? Or people kind of...
Some people say they do. Now, personally, I donate frequently, and I like to say I just feel drained for the rest of the day.
Oh, cute. You feel drained.
I feel, I get through the work day, I'm fine. I just want to go home and lay on the couch, watch TV, and have my husband fix me dinner.
Great.
So, and the next
Whoa.
day, I'm fine.
There you go.
On the other hand, some people say it feels like an energy charge after they donate.
Really?
Really, I hear that a lot. They just feel better. They just feel better.
Do you think it's psychological?
I don't know. I hear it from too many people. I have to believe it's real.
Well, it would
And-
seem to me if your blood volume's been depleted by a pint,
Well,
you wouldn't feel all that
unless
terrific, or at least...
you have extra high iron, and this will thin out your blood a little bit, and
Okay.
it flows easier, and
All right.
it's like an energy charge. It's almost like old-fashioned bloodletting back in the colonial and medieval times. Remember that?
I do remember, but they were bleeding out the disease that was in you, eh? Or no?
That too, and plus they just did it for medicinal purposes because
Right.
people felt better afterwards, as long as you didn't take too much.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. Back in, I'm not going to say medieval times, but even like during the Civil War, maybe before, when they would give transfusions to people, did they know what they were doing with respect to the blood types and all that, or no?
No.
And did they? What happens if you get the wrong blood type?
You die.
You die.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
Well, it's not, I guess maybe nowadays there's no way to get the wrong blood type these
Now,
days. But
no.
back in the day when there were direct donations out on the field like that,
Yes.
they took a chance. They didn't know why or what caused it. And I don't remember the exact history of who developed the antibody factors.
Right.
But I think they were in place, I think maybe for World War II and World War I, and then they were wearing dog tags with their blood types
Type on
on it.
them.
So you could do a direct donation in the field and not worry as much about it.
Yes.
A lot
Wow.
of people still think they can just go in. When I talk to them about being a blood donor, a lot of people don't want to do it. And they go, well, if somebody in my family really needed it, I would be there. And I go, well, it's going to be too late at that point. When you need blood, you need it right then. And for you to go in and donate, it's going to take, after you donate, it's going to take 2 to 3 days for it to get back to the hospital. Because after it's collected, it has to be processed, tested, and then sent to the hospital.
Right, to make sure it's safe.
Exactly.
Because we've all heard, even not really that long ago, about people acquiring conditions from blood donations.
Oh yes, it was prior to '85, the
Yeah.
hepatitis and then the onset of AIDS.
Right.
It was really bad, and the FDA stepped in, and the things that we have to do to ensure the safety of the blood supply are so strict and so numerous
Yeah.
that it's quite. I thought when I took the job, I thought, oh, you just collect blood, you send it to the hospital. No.
No, it's a lot more than that.
A lot more than that.
Do you have any special blood drives coming up we ought to know about?
Well, we do our annual Ocean City blood drive. We do it in January, which is a hard time of the year to get blood anyway. And as you know, in January, Ocean City's not that busy. So
Yes.
this will be our 15th year. We do a
Wow.
2-day blood drive, and every year we get between 600 and 700 people to come out and donate in those 2 days.
Wonderful.
And it gives the people in the resort area something to do. It really gives a huge boost to our blood supply for a month. And it's just a great community event. The town really comes out and supports us in all different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really important for people to give because it's a live thing. It's a living thing, your blood.
Yes, it is,
Yes.
right.
And it has a limited shelf life, so
Yeah.
it has to get turned around, and you constantly need to fill up, replenish what's used,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
We try to maintain, we have a certain inventory level we like to maintain, and we don't want to go above it because we don't want to be in a situation where it doesn't get used.
Right.
And our philosophy is the best place to store blood is in the human body.
Yes. Well, it's a good place for it.
Yeah. It stays fresher and longer, and and then you
Yeah.
just come in and give
Yeah.
us your pint, when we need it.
How big of an area do you serve?
We serve all of Delmarva, which is the
All
state
9 counties, or all,
and the state of Delaware.
And the state of Delaware. My
Yeah.
goodness.
And Accomack, Virginia as well.
Well, not from Salisbury, though. I mean,
No,
you
no,
have
no. We
other-
have 4 fixed sites.
4 fixed sites, yeah.
Yes, Salisbury, Dover, Christiana, Delaware, or Newark, depending on how you like to say it, right across from Christiana Care.
Okay.
And then a center up in Wilmington. Plus, we have about 28 mobile sites that we go on a monthly basis or annual basis around to the smaller communities on the shore,
Right.
where they don't maybe have access to get to our fixed sites as easily.
Wow.
So it's a real feat of scheduling and maintaining and.
Do you need an appointment, or can you just walk in, or what?
You can walk in. We do like people to have an appointment. The appointment serves 2 things. When you call in, you'll know that we'll be open that day. Our schedule fluctuates quite a bit, especially during the school year when we're out doing school blood drives. So we don't like it when people come to us and then they get upset that we're not open.
Yeah, I hear you.
So when you call in, you find out when we're open. Plus, we do a little pre-screening. We're going to ask you some obvious questions that might keep you from donating that you can answer over the phone, and then that saves you time from coming in.
Right.
And then if you set an appointment, you're going to come in and be done and out within an hour. We do take walk-ins, but we do take walk-ins, but then it might take a little longer as a walk-in.
Right, I hear you.
But we don't want to discourage anybody from coming in, period, though.
Can businesses participate with their employees?
Yeah, well, we depend on businesses greatly. We are a little bit of a different blood bank. We have a membership plan, and we ask businesses to help us out by sponsoring blood bank membership groups at their place of business. And when they hire people, they offer them membership into the blood bank, and they recruit for us, basically. And that's the biggest thing they can do, because most people will not donate unless they're asked. And the blood bank can't possibly hire enough people to ask everyone on Delmarva. So
Right.
we have about 2,600 businesses and organizations across
Wow.
Delmarva that help us do that and help us maintain the blood supply. The larger donor base you have, the chances get smaller that you're going to end up with a severe blood shortage.
Okay. Any blood drives coming up in the Wacomico County region?
No, we don't normally.
You just did one? No. Okay.
Yeah. We have our big center in Salisbury, and
Right.
then we do take the blood mobile out, but we don't have any high-profile blood drives like in Ocean City.
Right.
We do a large one-day blood drive at the University of Delaware. They're in a competition with other schools in the Colonial Athletic League Conference. And last year we collected over 1,200 units of blood in one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
1,200.
1,200 units. Now,
Big
we
time.
worked in partner with New York Blood Centers because we don't have enough staff to do that
Yeah.
much in one day. They came down and partnered with us, and they were able to take the blood back that they collected to their blood bank, and we had ours, and it was a win-win situation for everybody.
That's
and University of Delaware won the whole conference that year for the biggest blood drive.
Even better.
I know.
If people want to find out more information about the blood bank and the services you provide, or how to donate, what would you tell them?
We're in the phone book. Nobody ever
That's a
thinks
good place
to
to
look
be.
us up in the phone
And
book.
online,
And online, we have website delmarvablood.org,
delmarvablood.org.
and we have a toll-free number at let's see, how does that go? 888-8-BLOOD-8.
888-8-BLOOD-8. Fantastic.
And if you have questions concerning eligibility of being a donor or anything, you can call in, talk with one of our schedulers, ask any kind of questions you want. Everything is kept confidential. We don't share your information with anyone.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Because our viewers want to know that. They want
I
to make
know.
sure everything's treated strictly confidentially.
Yes. Yeah, we want, we don't share that information.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Yes, I would like to
let's hear
say
it.
this. Most people don't donate because they're afraid of needles. They think they're going to get hurt. It's just a whole mental thing. I'd like
Well,
to
I
say,
understand that mental thing, yeah.
And getting stuck with the needle is probably not on the top of everyone's list, but
No.
we try to make it a fun, pleasant experience. We know that you don't have to be there, and you're volunteering your time, and we depend on you coming back and doing it again the following year.
Right.
And we know if we treat you badly or hurt you, that you don't have to do that.
Right.
So as funny as it sounds, we try to make it a very pleasant experience, and 99% of the people leave there going, that was so easy, I can't believe I didn't do it before. And
There
they
you
all
go.
say they would do it again, yes.
And that's a testimonial from you as well, who gets regularly stuck.
Yes, I'm working on my 3-gallon certificate.
3-gallon certificate. My goodness.
I know.
That's terrific.
I think so.
Well, Suzanne, thank you very much for being with us today on the Community Foundation Spotlight. Suzanne Marie, once again, from the Blood Bank of Delmarva, and I'm Doug Wilson from the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. I want to thank you all for tuning us in and listening to this important segment because it saves people's lives.
Yes.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Would you like to see your community organization or nonprofit group featured on PAC 14? To get started, contact us at 410-677-5014 or visit our website at www.pac14.org. PAC 14 is a great way to connect with your community.